is here. But anyway, looking forward to Coach Snyder, and this year, Coach Greg Sands of our golf program should be here. Coach Sands, here? There he is. JoJo Robertson, Coach Robertson, are you here today? Coach Robertson, women's golf, there she is. Our men's tennis coach, Michael Brayler, is here today. I can barely see in the back, but Coach Brayler is here. And also our women's tennis coach, Adam Herendeen, is in the house. Adam Herendeen, please stand. You won't miss Adam. He's a big guy. There he is. So again, thank you for being here. Thank you for being a member of the Red Raider Club. If you are not a member, look on your table. There's a QR code. Again, this is 2023. It's easy to join. There's no reason not to join. Thank you for being a member. Again, if you're not, what's wrong? Why aren't you? You're here. You're part of this. Be a member of the Red Raider Club. Also, the Red Raider Club is now providing fundraising support for the Matador Club, the official NIL collective of Texas Tech Athletics. Again, you can join the Matador Club as well. We're excited about that partnership. And there are two ways. There's two ways you can impact Tech Athletics, either through the Red Raider Club or the Matador Club. Every gift you make makes a difference. And so join us, please. Let's spread the word. I think Brian Gates told me we had added a paltry sum of like 37 new Red Raider Club members today while we're here. And so let's light up those numbers like the old Jerry Lewis telethon, and let's add a bunch of new members to the Red Raider Club while we're here, because that's how we support these student athletes who wear the scarlet and the black every week, every sport, every event, and the Red Raider Club is a big part of that. So thank you. Thank you for being a member. Thank you for joining today if you've joined, and we look forward to increasing that relationship with you in the future. All right, this is about all the time we got for today. Thank you all for being here. No, I'm just kidding. I am checking the clock to make sure we're on time because, again, it's power-packed if you missed that. We're excited about President Schovanec being here. President Schovanec, under President Schovanec, we've reached new heights in exceeding our benchmarks in Texas Tech. Student enrollment, research, in awards and expenditures, and fundraising. President Schovanec has been a great friend and ally for Texas Tech Athletics. He's always there to support us. He and his wife, Patty, who is on the faculty here at Texas Tech, they have been great supporters throughout. You can see them every event. They're cheering, they're rooting on. They love the culture. They love what it means to be a Red Raider. And so we wanted to hear from President Schovanec today. So please welcome Texas Tech President Lawrence Schovanec up here to the stage this afternoon.
Thank you, Gio. You said you want to hear from President Schovanec, but I know who you really want to hear from, so I'll be very brief and get off the stage. I want to begin by saying thank you. Thank you to each and every one of you for being here today, but what you do for Texas Tech and our programs throughout the year. Tech is special for a lot of reasons, but you're such a big part of that. I also want to reiterate the thanks that Gio expressed to the Spirit Squad, our Palm and Cheer Squad, the great job that Stephanie does, the Going Band and Joel, Raider Red, the Mass Riders out there, and a special thanks to the student athletes that represent this university so well. There's a lot of reasons for Tech being special, and I think it does really start with our students. I was in Colorado over the weekend visiting alumni chapters, seeing supporters and friends. When I got back, I told the chancellor that there seems to be two things on people's mind. One, they're so excited to see what we're going to do with the additional resources we received through this last legislative session, and thank you, Chairman Burrows. But probably more importantly than that, they're excited about football. Coach Maguire, you've created a monster. And the excitement and expectations are out of the roof. But I think what we have to also acknowledge is from top to bottom, we have incredible coaches, those that were introduced today. It starts with our athletic director. Kirby Hocutt has been such a steady influence. I think we all realize there's not a better athletic director in the United States. He's also a very, very dear friend. Kirby, thank you and all of your staff for the great job that they do. I think our excitement right now is also different. It's at a different level because we're so happy about the status of our conference. And we're so fortunate, and I would say honored, that our Commissioner, Brett Yormark, is here today. This man is an incredible CEO, a great visionary. Nobody outworks him. And the future of our conference has never been better. And Brett, we owe so much to what you've done. So to all of you, thank you for all you do to support Texas Tech. Guns up.
Feels like 100 years. My dreaming is gone away. I could be better still than anything I've done. Oh, I know you think you could do too. Oh, I know you think you feel it's true. It's a little
How about that Texas Tech Creative Services team? They called themselves Creato 6. Yes, pretty good. I will make several mistakes today, and I've already made 2. So I'm going to rectify them right now. I'd like to say it was part of the script, but I screwed up. Women's golf team is here. Women's golf team, please stand up. Yeah. We'll make up to it. We'll make up for that by sending you guys to Pebble Beach on September 1st to play on a tournament. You guys can go. They're playing. They're opening up on September 1st at Pebble Beach. And then, we have not sold out of baseball season tickets. Is that President Schovanec's a math guy? I don't know if he fixed my grammar on that. We've sold out of baseball season tickets every year since 2015. Coach Tim Tadlock and his staff are here as well. Coach Tadlock. So glad all those people can be here. Text me more if I've missed other people. I got a quick question. How many people in here have Beyonce on speed dial on your phone? Okay, just me and Commissioner Yormark, I guess. So anyway, we're so excited about the commissioner being here. Think about this. He started on August 1st, 2022 as the commissioner of the Big 12. He clearly didn't read that book, hey, how to start your first 90 days, right? Just kind of get to know people, ease your way in. He took off right from the beginning. He got the new TV rights for the Big 12, which kind of changed the whole dynamic of what we're seeing in college athletics with the inclusion of the 4 new schools from the Pac-12. He has great NBA experience. He was in charge of Rock Nation before he came here to the Big 12. And from a Texas Tech fan, employee, everything else perspective, there's not a greater time now to be excited about the Big 12. And a lot of it has to do with our commissioner, and we are so pleased. It's historic for him to be here. We've never had a commissioner here at our kickoff luncheon, so please join me in welcoming Big 12 Commissioner Brett Yormark.
You got my back? You got my back?
We started at 12, running 11 deep, and dropping downs since 9-6. Back when the Big 8 met the Southwest, to countless wins later. And if we're talking hardware, have 7 Heismans. Count them. With 6 by the net or 5 on the floor, we got the power. And to the new 4 coming our way, Welcome. This is for the 4 years to make your mark. Whether it's a 3 with 3.1 on the clock or the biggest 2-point play to inspire a generation.
Let's go!
One thing's clear. We've always been greater than 12.
Okay. Well, first and foremost, it's a thrill to be here today. Just being in Lubbock again, it's been about a year since I was last here. It's just great to see so many familiar faces and be a part of what you're building. I'd like to start off, and I'd be remiss if I didn't thank a couple of special people. First, it starts with President Lawrence Schovanec. Lawrence is the reason I'm the commissioner of the Big 12. He led the executive search, and candidly, it's been the most enjoyable year of my life. Lawrence, thank you for putting me here, but most importantly, thank you for our incredible friendship. Secondly, I need to thank Kirby. You know, I came in here with a lot to learn. I came from a different industry, relatively speaking, and I still have a lot to learn, but Kirby was my sounding board from day one. When I needed guidance, I needed support, and I'm a guy that asks a lot of questions. And Kirby, I want to thank you for always being there for me, for making this year really what it's turned out to be, and most importantly, again, for our incredible friendship. So thank you. And lastly, you know, I guess you could say I'm a type A personality, a little high-strung, a lot of energy. I think I've met my match in Coach Joey Maguire. In those moments where I needed a little lift and needed to be inspired, Coach, you were always there. Congratulations on what you're building here. We're on this journey together, and most importantly, again, thank you for your friendship. I can't believe I've only been here for a year. It's gone incredibly quickly, and I'm really proud of what we collectively, all of us in this room, have accomplished. What I thought I'd do is just talk a little bit about last year, and then talk a little bit about what's in store for the Big 12 moving forward. And yes, I think it's been an unprecedented year for the Big 12, both on and off the field. I'm going to start a little bit about football from last year. We defined this narrative that we were going to be the deepest conference in America, and we lived up to it. It was an incredible year, and when you think about the postseason, 80% of our teams played in bowl games. And in fact, there was this one bowl game that I was watching. Candidly, I didn't watch them all, but there was one I watched, this team from West Texas. They dropped 42 points, and they beat this SEC opponent and won the Texas Bowl. Congrats, team, okay? We had 30 student athletes as a part of the NFL draft, which might have been an all-time record for us. And leading the way was obviously a Red Raider, Tyree Wilson, taking it number 7, which was incredible. When I think about what kind of happened off the field, I do think the catalyst for the incredible progress and growth of this conference came with the ESPN and Fox deal. You know, 90 days into my time here as commissioner, and with the great support of the AD community and the presidents and the board, we were able to jump ahead of the Pac-12 and solidify our future. And there was a couple of learning lessons. When you think about jumping ahead of the Pac-12, for me and during those negotiations, it was never about chasing the SEC or chasing the Big Ten. In life, I think it's more about being the best version of yourself. I know Coach feels the same way. He's not chasing other teams. It's all about living up to the potential of who you are. And we did that. We know there's a gap between us and the Big Ten and the SEC, but our strategy was 2 bites at the apple. Let's gain stability and certainty for this conference, and then go back into the marketplace in 31 before the SEC and before the ACC and narrow the gap. And that's what our intention is, and it was when we're going through this process. Getting ahead of the Pac-12 and solidifying that deal with the two biggest distributors in the business gave us momentum for the last year. It was really the catalyst for everything we did. And I'd like to talk about a few of those things. On the heels of that ESPN and Fox deal, we went through an organizational redesign at the conference. You know, I believed, and so did the board, that we needed to investment spend, and we have grown dramatically since then and have positioned ourselves in a way to be ready for success. I think that's how you run a business. In addition, candidly, we were able to get Texas and Oklahoma out a year early. That was a big deal for us, and I think all of you, okay? And Coach, I'm not gonna put any pressure on you, but I'm gonna be in Austin for Thanksgiving, okay? And you better take care of business like you did right here in Lubbock last year, okay? We launched a lot of initiatives, and I'm only gonna name a few because I'm really proud of them. We created Big 12 Pro Day with the NFL for our student athletes to give them the biggest platform to reach their goals. We created Big 12 Mexico. I'm really happy about that initiative in extending our footprint internationally and creating a narrative in a market like Mexico City that has 22 million people. We went to Rucker Park, one of the most iconic basketball parks in America, in New York City, and hosted 250 kids 13 and under, partnered with the mayor's initiative in New York City, and gave back in all the right ways. We hosted a conference-wide business summit, the first ever in our conference, to share best practices amongst all of our members. And a big thing for me, having come from the sales and marketing side of the business, is we took our sales business in-house for the first time in 27 years so we could fully monetize all the great things our members are doing so we could better support our schools. We enhanced our championship experiences through entertainment and culture. And we placed a never-before emphasis on content and digital storytelling for our student athletes. And it's not just about the athletes that are participating in football and men's and women's basketball. It's about Olympic sports and amplifying and elevating all of those Olympic sports and the student athletes that are doing some amazing things. Our social media growth has been incredible. Today, we have over 700,000 social media followers, an increase of over 150,000 since I took the job. And that places us #2 amongst Division I conferences in America, and growing. Just last week, when we announced the 4 new member institutions that are coming next year, we added 50,000 followers. Fans want as much as they can get from the conference and from their schools, and we're gonna give it to them. And then most recently, we went through expansion. And I'll tell you, as someone that brings a bit of a business mindset to the role, and I know many of you run companies, you know, it didn't come easy, candidly. We went through a ton of modeling, different scenarios over the last year. We had a mission and a vision, and we ultimately realized it. We got lucky, because in life you need to get lucky, and we did. But the dream scenario was to go to 16, and we did. Today, when you think about the Big 12, we're in 4 time zones, we're in 10 states, and we have over 90 million people in our geographic footprint. We've come a long way. But as I often say, be happy and never satisfied. We still have a lot of work ahead of us, as great as last year was. And I kind of look at the conference as a mature startup, because we're only 27 years old. And we got a lot of things to do in the future, and we're going to take advantage of having that startup mentality. So let me talk about a couple of things that are forthcoming this year. We're going to put a greater emphasis than ever before on academic and student athlete well-being. Critically important for us as a conference to lead the way. We're going to celebrate cultural moments, critically important. Black History Month, Hispanic Heritage Month, to name a few. We will continue in our efforts to make sure that this conference gets on the consciousness of future student athletes and current student athletes to reaffirm that there has never been a better time than right now to be a part of this conference. We'll also prepare for our launch in Mexico City, which will take place in December of 2024. We're going to continue to grow our commercial initiatives and monetize everything that we've become. We're also going to work very closely with ESPN and Fox to tell the story of the Big 12, to be the conference of access and innovation, and to highlight the incredible things our student athletes are doing. And while we're doing that, we're going to continue to embrace music and culture to tell our story. We'll double down with artists and entertainers, and you probably read last week, we announced Nelly as our halftime performer at this year's championship football game. And Coach, I hope to see you there, okay? Now, just like the Big 12, you guys have a lot to be thankful for. The incredible leadership, what you're doing in supporting all of your athletic programs. Kirby took me on a tour today, and I saw all the facility enhancements and the capital improvements that are ongoing here. You should be proud of all your contributions and know that those contributions are enabling student athletes to be the best version of themselves. I want to leave you with a couple of things that I think about every day. First of all, be happy and never satisfied. Want more and work hard for it. That's what I tell everyone in our conference every day. In addition, be ready for success. We were at the conference, thanks to the investments our ADs and our presidents did, and I know you're ready for success. I talk to Coach about that all the time. You got to be ready for success. And lastly, continue to innovate, create, disrupt, and take risks. All good businesses do that. Lastly, I want you all to know I'm blessed to be your commissioner, and I wish all of you an incredible academic and athletic season. Thank you.
My name is Dennis Wilburn. I play O-line. I want to give a big thanks to everyone who's a part of the Red Raider Club, because this has been a great experience here at Texas Tech. For one, coming here not on scholarship at first, being able to come in still welcomed by everybody and everything. It's been a real great experience.
Hey guys, it's me, Josiah Pierre. I'm the linebacker, number 8. And I just want to really thank you guys, Red Raider Club, for all that you've done for us. You know, every time we come in here and grind, and you guys provide us all the tools that we need to be successful on the field and to live for the brand and to logo for Texas Tech. I feel like for me, the one that impacts me the most is the nutrition. I'm a big nutrition guy. I feel like nutrition plays a big part of what I do in the field, how I operate in the weight room, and how I operate in the film room, because it helps me function my brand, perform my body to the best of abilities.
As far as academic goes, being able to receive the Stride Tech has been a great thing, because it's able to take my mind off the outside world and able to help me really focus in on school and everything like that.
And if you're not a Red Raider donor today, be one. Thank you guys.
We love our student athletes. We're going to bring 3 of them up here right now. So guys, make your way up. Please welcome to the stage, don't see him moving, don't see him, Tony Bradford. Oh, he didn't know. Tony Bradford, Dadrian Demerson Taylor, and Tyler Shuck. Guys, come on up. Three guys that had a lot to do with that win that Commissioner Yormark just mentioned, the butt kicking that we gave Ole Miss in the Texas Bowl. And so this guy right here wearing a cowboy hat after the game, Shuck. Here comes Rabbit. And then the man himself, several nicknames, the mayor, future police chief, Tony Bradford. Y'all working?
Yep, I think they're working.
Tony, let's start with you.
What's up?
How are you? Did Daddy tell you? Hold your mic up to your mouth so they can all hear you.
All right, got you.
What are we excited about? Now you've got a year under your belt with Coach Maguire and his staff, Coach DeRuiter, Coach Kitley, the whole group. What are you excited about heading into 2023?
I'm just really excited to see all y'all faces today. We really do appreciate the love and support that each and every one of you and everybody that wish they could be here today that's not here, that may be out in the community working and doing everything else. We're just excited to show you all what the brand is really about. Last year was just like a little introduction to it because it was our first year with Coach Maguire. Now we really understand, and I can't wait to show you guys what we're about.
Robert, you were telling me before camp this year, you're like, hey, these young guys, they're about to learn what it's like, what the camp is like. What has it been like, and how have the young guys picked it up? Because it is a grind, right, going through camp every day.
I feel like the young guys have done a really good job adapting to the culture we have here. You know, the years before and then compared to now, you know, it's a higher standard than ever before. You know, when you come in the building, we demand perfection every single day, starting with the strength coaches all the way to the position coaches, all the way to nutrition, and even the people in the training room. So just everyone buying into what we have in store for this season for us has been really good for us. So looking forward to it.
Tyler, for you, how big is that first game of the year? People that know you transferred here from Oregon to the second game, first home game. Obviously, you open up against Wyoming, but something I know you're thinking of always about the next game, so you've got Wyoming on the mind. But have you thought about that coming back, that, hey, I got something to show here?
I mean, yeah, I think of this as a celebration. You know, I came here to Tech thinking I was going to be here for 1 year, and, you know, adversity happens, and what are you going to do with that? And to really be able to have that opportunity with all my best friends, all these coaches, I mean, it's just such a blessing. You know, I think for me, we're going to treat it like any other game, but I know my family's excited, but for me, I'm ready to go beat their ass, to be honest with you.
For you, getting to work with Coach Kitley, and you've got a great quarterback room, had a great quarterback room last year, how important was it for you to kind of emerge as the guy going into spring and now in this fall?
Yeah, I mean, I think going into this year, for me, knowing it was my last year, I was going to invest everything I have into my teammates, into myself, and just getting my body right, getting my mind right. And for me, it wasn't really about what I know, is how can I elevate, how can I bring the wide receivers, the O-line, and tight ends, how can we bring everybody else along? Because I'm only going to be as good as they are. You know, our O-line this year is, I mean, you can talk to them, Rusty, Dennis, Monroe, Cole, Caleb. I mean, they're all upgrades, switching positions, transferring guys in. It's going to be, I mean, for me, it's super fun. So everything that I've been doing is trying to pour into them, and, you know, our relationships have never been stronger.
Rabbit, do you have any picks this year, this fall against Shuck? Have you been? How's your fall performance been?
I might have caught one yesterday on.
Yeah, one yesterday?
I might have caught one yesterday, yeah.
I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that. So how has it been for you? How do you feel like that with you this year, based on what you guys have done, what are you excited about when you look at this upcoming season?
I'm really looking forward to, you know, just becoming a real professional. You know, my second year with Coach Maguire, you know, we have really good defensive staff, you know, starting with our coordinator to my position coach. So just them demanding that responsibility on me, and me just going out there and doing the best I can is just all I can do.
Tony, you're team leader, right? Whether you want to accept it or not, and you do accept it, but you get it called all the time. We see this about the Matador Club and the Red Raider Club. How important have those things been to you in your career here at Texas Tech?
It's been very important. Just the tremendous donations that everyone has put into the Matador Club, into the Texas Tech Red Raider Club. It's all important. Without it, none of us are here, because all that stuff goes into our scholarships, it goes into our meals, it goes into everything that we need as student athletes to be the best that we can be, to represent this program and represent the city. And without it, I honestly don't know where we would be.
Who this fall has impressed you the most, besides yourself? Who has impressed you the most out there every day watching these guys go at it?
Sure, everybody. The way this offseason has went, shout out to our strength and conditioning staff. I don't really like to give them too much credit because they're crazy anyway, but you got to give credit when it's due. And Coach Lance and his team has they've just changed our bodies. They changed our strength. They changed the speed amongst the entire team. I've reached my top speeds this summer. I've seen these guys reach their top speeds, and everybody is just so impressive. And it was just completely different than what it was last year.
Rabbit, when you see the construction going on, we got a new turf on the field. You guys are going to get a chance to get out there. You see the construction every day. How important is that? And how excited are you about, hey, what this season is going to look like just from that standpoint?
I'm excited to see, what is it, the north end zone is getting done? South
South,
end zone, yeah. The south end zone is getting done, but I'm really sad that I'm going to be gone when everything's going to be done. But I'm going to be a real proud alumni to come back and watch these guys, win more championship games and continue to live on the brand. So, yeah, really excited for that.
Well, you can come back. You can always come back if you're.
I'm pretty sure Coach Maguire will hook us up on some sideline tickets or something.
Tyler, how have you grown as a player? You just, watching film of you when you see it. If you're not watching the brand, shame on you. You should be watching the brand to get a behind-the-scenes look at this program. But you really seem to have kind of come into your own. Do you feel that?
Yeah, I think there's a different energy around the entire, the meeting rooms. I think there's just a professional level of knowledge about the game. Even the younger guys, their knowledge of football has increased. And I feel like, for myself, that's my whole goal is, like I said before, it's not what I know, it's what my teammates know. And I think that's how we're going to have a lot of success is because, we know what the defense is going to present us. We know what we're trying to attack. And Coach Kitley's, he's the best in the country, in my opinion, for allowing his players to go to play, how he teaches, what his philosophy is. And our whole staff buys into that mindset. So we're ready to go out attack defenses. And same thing for our defense. It's been a struggle against fall camp. I know we've been obviously doing really good, but, when your defense is presenting different looks, having guys moving out of different zones and different coverages, it makes it a lot more confusing. So we're getting the best looks that we believe all season during practice. So we feel really prepared when it comes down on Saturday. Talk
a little bit about that quarterback room. You've got Barron in there, you've got Jake Strong in there, and last year you had a strong quarterback room. That helped make you better, competing with those guys?
100%. I think in all my years in being in college football, there's never been a more tight-knit unit than our quarterback room and our offense and our team. And, Barron and I, we're boys on and off the field. Jake Strong is coming along really well. He's a super smart kid. And we just added another one in Will, who's another baseball player as well. So, we only have 4 guys, but, man, I think any one of us are ready to go at any moment like you've seen last year. And I think both of us just growing into that role, understanding what we're trying to get done, and really just transcending and taking this program to the next level is what we're really trying to do.
Okay, I want to finish up the same question for all three of you. And Tyler, I'll start with you. Just your decision to come to Texas Tech, where you are now, how do you summarize it? Glad you're here, and what are you looking forward to?
Yeah, for me, it's been the best decision I've ever made. I think I came here to Tech and found a new love for the football game. I came here, like I said before, only planning to be here for 1 year, and things happen that maybe you look back and you're like, man, why is this happening to me? What's going on? And I have no regrets. Everything in my life has happened to come to this moment, to be here with my teammates. And especially the people of Lubbock. I think it's been my favorite part is coming to meet everyone, coming to meet all these brand new people. I knew nothing about West Texas, and I don't think I ever want to leave coming after whenever it's all said and done.
And you saw Coach Maguire climb the crane. Did you ever give any thought to that?
Yeah, he kind of chickened out a little bit. It was supposed to be a big deal, and everybody's supposed to be watching, but he kind of snuck off on a little Sunday, and I was walking my dog, and I was like, what are you doing? And he's...
Oh, you just saw it just on accident?
No, yeah.
I thought he invited
there live. He did good, though. He did good. There was a camera crew and everything, but he didn't die.
Rabbit, what about you? You could have gone anywhere. Talk about your decision to come here.
Kind of about what Tyler said. I really didn't know much about Lubbock, but then when I got here, it became a home. I'm a huge family-oriented guy. My mom, she loves this place. She loves coming here every single Saturday. We have a home game. And my daughter was born here, so, this is going to be home for a very long time, so.
Fantastic. Tony, bring us home. What are your thoughts as you enter your last season here? How do you summarize your career here at Texas Tech?
Unfortunately, it is my last season here. I've had so many life-changing experiences, and it's just a shout-out to the community. The Lubbock community is pretty much a part of my why as well. I honestly feel as though this area deserves a championship, and I'm just blessed to be in this position to finally be in a program in a situation during the season for the year to where we can bring a championship to you all. Y'all deserve it. We want it for the program, and I promise you we're going to do our best to bring it home.
Heck yeah, that's a great way to end it. Tony Bradford, Adrian Demerson-Tater, Tyler Shuck, thank you guys. Look forward to seeing you. Great guys. Got a team full of these guys, and just really proud that they're Red Raiders and what they do, and looking forward to this upcoming season. You heard Commissioner Yormark say he hopes he sees them at the Big 12 championship game this year. He also mentioned something about never being satisfied and never being complacent. Kirby Hocutt has been our AD longer than any AD in history, just surpassed Coach Myers in tenure. And that's one of the great things about Kirby. We've had tremendous success under his leadership, but he always pushes us as a staff, challenges us not to be complacent, not to just settle, not to be satisfied, to keep pushing and pushing the programs, pushing our individual units. And I think that's what makes him great. I think that's what makes him the best athletic director in the country. Please welcome our athletic director, Kirby Hocutt.
Raider Power. It's not just a cheer. It's the force behind student-athlete success on and off the field. With your support, the Red Raider Club has funded best-in-class student-athlete experiences for over 70 years. And we're just getting started. Welcome to the next era of Texas Tech athletics, where we are boldly taking steps to stay ahead of the field and foster future generations of fearless champions, including new academic achievement awards and NIL opportunities with the Matador Club, now the official and exclusive NIL collective of Texas Tech athletics. We need your support of the Red Raider Club and the Matador Club to give Texas Tech an edge over our competition. Enjoy new benefits, enhanced club member experiences, and the opportunity to make a direct impact on the lives of the students you love to cheer for. Your Red Raiders. One team, one mission. Join us. Let's go.
Red Raider Nation, thank you for being here today. Thank you for always being here to support Texas Tech athletics and our student athletes. A couple of times this afternoon, Robert has said it is an exciting time. It's an exciting time for the Big 12 Conference. It's an exciting time for Texas Tech football, for Texas Tech athletics. I want to edit what Robert has been saying, that Red Raider Nation, it is our time. It is our time to step forward and to elevate in a way that it just feels different this year. It feels different with the Big 12 Conference. And what Commissioner Yormark has brought, I sum up in one word: truly transformational. Transformational in what has taken place as well as the future that's in front of us. I would summarize what Coach Maguire has done with Texas Tech football, Texas Tech athletics, Texas Tech University, the Red Raider community, with that same word, transformational. The energy that Joey Maguire has brought to us leads you to this point where, yes, it is our time to do something very special. And it's because of you, the Red Raider Nation, that we're able to do that. I laughed when Robert just asked Rabbit the question about the south end zone. And I'll tell you a quick story. It was probably a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. I'm walking off the football field with some of the guys after practice. And Jalen Hutchins comes up, and he goes, "Kirby, tell me about this south end zone project. What's going to be done before this season? Where are we going to locker? Where the visiting team's going to locker? How's the traffic going to flow on game day?" Well, I found it interesting that Tony was up here, because usually when there's Tony, there's Jalen right beside him. So I don't know how Jalen didn't find his way on the stage today, but as we're walking off the practice field, all of a sudden Tony appears. And so we're talking about the south end zone, and Jalen said, "I can't wait to come back and see it." You know, and I can't wait for all of these guys, like Rabbit said, to come back and see what they've been a part of building, this transformational change that is taking place within Texas Tech athletics. And as we were walking off, Jay Boog said, yeah, Kirby, when I come back to see it, I'm staying with you. And then Tony said, well, I'm staying with you too, Kirby. I said, all right, you are. So, Drew, go ahead and give them the garage code, because you know both of those guys will show up, and they're always welcome. But the national landscape has also gone through transformation and continues to go through transformation within intercollegiate athletics. And you know what I love as much as anything about the Red Raider Nation is because as we're going through this change nationally, and we have the transfer portal, and we're in this NIL area and space, you told me this is our time. It's our time to accelerate. And we've done just that. And I do think it's important, as Robert has said, to celebrate our past. And I appreciate Coach Myers being here, and what Gerald represents for Texas Tech athletics cannot be understated. I'm inspired every time that I'm around him. And when you think about the last 4 or 5 months, think about our past and student athletes that have just recently come through and what they're doing now. Patrick Mahomes, National Football League, Super Bowl MVP. Zach Thomas, Diane and I were in Canton, Ohio with him just a couple of weeks ago celebrating his induction into the National Football League Hall of Fame. When you're around Zach, he doesn't want to talk to me about the Miami Dolphins NFL Hall of Fame. He talks about Texas Tech and his time as part of the Red Raider family and what we're doing today. Josh Young, we celebrated what he's doing as a rookie in Major League Baseball, starting third baseman for the Rangers, starting third baseman for the American League All-Star team, on his way to Rookie of the Year, and he's battling back from that injury and hopes to get back in that conversation. The commissioner mentioned Tyree Wilson. Ludwig Aberg, how much fun has it been to watch him play on the PGA level and what he's doing every weekend. Sophia Garcia, a young lady who was a great golfer, one of our many talented women student athletes, earning her card and is on the LPGA right now. These are just things that have happened in the last 3 or 4 months. We're going through an incredible time of celebration. But I know it's our time. I know it's our time to do special things because I'm around our coaches and our student athletes each and every day, all of our teams. And I know it's time because of the Red Raider Nation and what you've done. Football season tickets sold out. Men's basketball season tickets sold out at a record level. Such great ticket sales and excitement around the Lady Raider program. And as Robert mentioned, you haven't been able to get a season ticket in baseball since 2015. And then what you have done to invent the name, image, and likeness program, the future, through the Matador Club as they've become the official and exclusive NIL provider collective of Texas Tech athletics. What we've seen in the facility investment. You know, less than 2 years ago, we set out and said, we're going to construct the very best, nicest, state-of-the-art south end zone, as well as demolition and rebuild a football training facility project. It was a daunting task. It started with a $219 million budget. As we've gotten into the project, we've made some changes, we've made some additions. Now it's at a $230 million project. From day one, less than 2 years ago, we said that through our funding model, that it was our goal to raise $100 million towards that ultimate project cost, of which now is $230 million. Today, for the first time, we want to share with the Red Raider Nation that through your generosity and support, yet once again, we have met and surpassed that goal of raising over $100 million in less than 2 years in support of that South End Zone Womble football facility project. Red Raider Nation, thank you. The largest investment ever into a Texas Tech football facility project, and you're allowing us to dream big and to provide our student athletes with state-of-the-art, the best resources in the country. So student athletes, coaches, staff, join me in saying thank you to our donors and our Red Raider Nation for what they continue to do. Before I close, I want to say thank you to the Kinsey family. Lubbock trailer sales for being here. I get fired up every time I come in here and I see the semis and the way we travel during the football season. When we go to wherever we go first class. The going band goes first class. The football team travels in first class. And Cody and the Kinsey family, what y'all do to support Texas Tech athletics in this entire community, thank you. And we celebrate these great accomplishments because of you, the Red Raider Nation. And it's because of you that we're here and we are transformational in our beliefs, in our initiatives, and what we're doing as a program. And know this, much more is to come, that it's not just an exciting time, that it's our time. And remember this, we're going to win. Texas Tech is going to win in everything that we do. Thank you all for being here. Wreck 'em.
Coach Joey Maguire, Coach Mac Brown here from the University of North Carolina. Now, I know I'm not very popular in Lubbock, Texas, for lots of reasons, but you are my man. I love you as a friend. I've got great respect for you as a person, and you were one of the best high school coaches when I was at Texas in that state, and nobody does it better than the high school coaches in the state of Texas.
Every so often in life you meet somebody who you connect with on a deeper level. I'd say since the very first time I met Joey sitting at IHOP just off I-35, I knew he was my brother from another mother. I love him. I respect him. If my son had anyone he could play for, he played for Joey.
What's going on? Dad, I love you. I'm so excited to see what you guys got this year. It's going to be a special year. It's a fun ride. You taught me how to be a man, how to be a coach. Now it's my turn to introduce to you the Texas Tech head coach, my dad, Joey Maguire. Wreck 'em.
All I needed to do was start crying with that last part. So let's start it off with the Raider power to get it going, okay? So I'm going to step away, and y'all got the power. Here we go. All right, let's go. Man, that was so awesome. First of all, so honored to be up here being your head coach, and thank you. I see a lot of people in the audience that makes all this go. And it's amazing what's going on here in Lubbock, Texas. I mean, you see it everywhere with not only winning on the field and winning on the court, but just the transformation and the facilities that our guys get to go into every day. So everybody that donates, everybody that's a part of the Red Raider Club and the Matador Club, thank you so much for my athletes. You make our job so much easier being a part of this. I want to start out by introducing some people. Number one, we have the best athletic trainers in the country. So if our athletic trainers, football athletic trainers, if you would stand up, I'm hoping they're here. They might still be at the building doing our recovery and everything like that. But Mike Ramirez and his team, if you're in here, let's give them a round of applause anyway, because they probably are. The one thing that you'll see whenever you see us take the field is you're going to see a very different looking team. We're bigger, we're faster, stronger. The numbers are just absolutely incredible. And so if I could have our nutrition staff and our strength staff stand up, and please give them a huge round of applause. It's really a treat to see our strength staff having sleeves on today, because they're usually sleeveless. I like to show off their guns. If I could have our coaching staff, my football coaching staff, stand up so we can give you a round of applause. And then I don't know if they stood up, so our support staff, our chief of staff, Antonio Huffman, and that crew, if you guys would stand up real quick so I can give you a... We have the best staff in the country. I really do. I get to come to work every single day. I'm fired up whenever I walk in the building. I know that doesn't surprise anyone, but the energy that I get to bring every day is because I get to be around those guys and work with them hand in hand. And I'm telling you, it is an incredible group. We have the best in every single position, whether it's recruiting, nutrition, strength staff, our athletic training staff. Every single group is absolutely first class and the very best. And it's, again, because of y'all being able not only to bring these guys in, but also grow the staff to the number that we needed to be successful. And so that's really, really huge. I do not want to leave out probably, and they're not the most important. I'm going to say the most important to last, but the most important to our coaches are coaches' wives and girlfriends. So if you are here, my coaches' wives and girlfriends, my beautiful wife, if y'all would stand up, please. Devin. You're talking about some diehard people there at practice every Wednesday. It's so much fun to come to practice on Wednesdays because we get to see our kids run around after practice with their dads, and that's such a huge part of what we believe in, our family atmosphere. And I want the kids to be able to see their dads, but I also want our players to see what it looks like, that interaction. I think that's such a huge part of developing our men to become great husbands and great fathers. The most important thing we have in our building, by far, you can't enter our building if you don't believe this from the bottom of your heart. You can't work at Texas Tech if you don't understand the most important thing that we have going for us is we get to work with our young people every day. So the football players that are here, if you could stand up so we can give you a huge round of applause. C.J. Baskerville, he's number 9. He plays star for us, our strong safety. He walked in and his eyes were really big. And I remember that look because, Kirby, I had that look last year when I walked into this. Juice, we coached at another place that we're going to go on the road and beat the hell out of this year. But we coached at another place together. And I was going, can you believe this? And that's what CJ goes, Coach, I've never seen anything like this. I want to start off again by saying, how lucky are we? And that's not a question. That's a statement. How lucky are we to be Red Raiders? Because I promise you, the commissioner is going to go to each campus, and this doesn't happen like this everywhere else. They're going to celebrate some things, and they're going to feel good. But what the Red Raiders, whenever you come out and you look at the semis and you walk into this and just feel the passion and energy, we're extremely lucky to be at a place that has y'all, a passionate alumni fan base that believes in their university. And I promise you, we feel that, and we take that to work every single day. So thank you so much for that. Before I talk about our football team, and I don't know if Gio's going to come up and ask questions because he likes to talk a lot, but I do want to say thank you to our commissioner for being here. If you go back, I was in this conference at another school a couple years ago, and there was a panic. And y'all all know there was. Where are we going? What are we going to do? These so-called blue bloods, and I really question that. One of them's really good in Olympic sports. Think about that one. They were like, okay, we're leaving. And it was like, okay, what do we do? And there was questions. And we're talking to this conference. And we have a guy that comes in that thinks outside the box, that challenges everybody every single day. And not only does he stabilize the conference, but he creates a conference that's going to truly be able to compete with every single conference. And I know he has a plan to close the gap. Well, part of my job is to close it even faster. He said it. Part of my job is to make sure that that team in burnt orange, if that's really a color, if that team leaves, and make sure that they're going to a conference that they can no longer compete in this conference with the teams that are in this conference. And so I understand that, and we're going to close that gap. But I thank you so much, Commissioner. You're sitting by my buddy, right next to my guy, President Schovanec. Thank you so much for your leadership. I work for the best AD in the country, in Kirby Hocutt. I can't thank him enough for entrusting me to be the head coach at Texas Tech, and just this whole table of just incredible people, the chancellor, and I can't thank y'all enough. I hope y'all are ready for some football. We have a very good football team, and they are tired of hitting each other. We hit a point yesterday that I could feel that they were like, Coach, this camp has been tough. And I'm telling you, being a Red Raider, you've got to be that number one part of the brand, the toughest. You can't be tough without doing tough things. So I promise you, we have had an extremely tough camp. And they're like, all right, Coach, now it's time to go hit somebody else. And so they are really hungry. We have a really, really strong football team, and they cannot wait to play Wyoming. I know Gio wanted to talk to Tyler because there's connection and everything, but that's probably the first time I've ever heard anybody in our building say anything about week 2, because we're focused on week 1. We play on CBS at 5:30, 6:30 here, and the nation is going to get to see what we are all about. We're going to put the brand on display. We're going to be the toughest, hardest working, most competitive team. And I can't wait to play Wyoming, because I want the rest of the nation to understand their own notice, because the Red Raiders are ready to take control of this conference. And Kirby said it. There is an opportunity. It's one of my favorite words. There's an opportunity to put the Red Raiders at the forefront of this conference. And I don't want to wait till 2024 when it's a new conference, because it's more important to do it in 2023 when those old two are still here, so they can understand exactly who runs the Big 12. I said it at our media day. I told Pat after the Texas victory, I said, not everything that goes on in the locker room is supposed to go out, but trust me, everything that comes out of my mouth, I believe in 100%. And whenever I said after we beat Texas last year, everything runs through Lubbock. Everything runs through Lubbock. When you're talking about Big 12 championships, everything runs through Lubbock. Tadlock's done it. Krista is going to do it, but did it as a player. Grant's going to do it. That's all Wes Kitley does, right? They've done it, and so now it's our time to do it in football. And why wait? When you have a team like we do, with the amount of starters that we have coming back that are hungry as they are, that have worked their tails off, then it's my job, it's our coaching staff's job to put them in the position to go out and win this thing. But it starts with Wyoming, and then we'll go to what's next, and we will be prepared every single week. I said it last year. Are you coming up here to talk? You got some questions? Come on up, Gio, real quick. But I want to tell you this. The one thing that I can promise you, and I'll say it until the day I die, you will never question if your team is ready to play. You will never question if your team is prepared to play. We are Red Raiders. We're going to fight our tail off with that West Texas grit. The thing that makes us special is that toughness. And so you won't question that. We will play 4 quarters for you because we want to make you proud, and that's who we are. Year 1 was learning the brand. Year 2, now it's time to live the brand. And you're going to see it on display against Wyoming, and we're going to do it every single week, and we're going to make you proud of exactly who you are and who we are. And I cannot wait to kick that thing off. And so I'm going to let Gio come up to see if he has any questions, and then just tell you, for those that are going to Wyoming, can't wait to see you in Wyoming. Can't wait to see you against the team we play week 2 and week 3. It's going to be a special year. I can't thank you enough for letting me be your head coach. Wreck 'em. Gio is kind of like my wife. He's got a word quota, And so he's got to hit them all today. So I'll let you get a couple more.
You know, we leave it up to you
Debbie.
completely. Look, see, people, when you called you up, they're already leaving the.
Well, they got a meeting.
Yeah, they what?
I thought T.O. was leaving. I said, we still got till 2 o'clock, bro.
We got a great video that you got to see after this that you talked about, Patrick, that will kind of put a bow on this. I knew when I was asking Shuck that question, I thought, Joey is sitting over there just rankling. So much depth. When I go to practice, I'm going, man, we're deep here. We're deep here. We're deep here. It's got to give you, I mean, you've got supreme confidence right now.
Yeah, you know, it starts with the O-line. I mean, it's crazy. I've never been a part of a team to where you have 9 of our two deep, so 10 offensive linemen. 9 of our 10 offensive linemen have started game in college football, either for the Red Raiders or against a Power 5 team. So 9 of our starters. And so you're going to see a totally different offensive line. That's why Shuck feels so good. I would too if I get to play behind that offensive line. And so it's exciting to see, but not only with that, I mean, we go 2 deep at the receiver. We go 2 to 3 deep at, the running back. You turn over and you flip over to defense. I know Boog and Tony love to play every snap, but they had to play too many snaps at the defensive tackle position. And we feel like we go 4 to 6 deep at the defensive tackle position. We feel like both of our edge guys will be drafted. And then we've got a secondary where all 5 of them have played college football, started football games. 4 of them for the Red Raiders, but you add CJ in. And so it's an exciting time to be out there coaching them because you've got an older group that's really experienced. Probably the most experienced maybe in college football, but at least probably in the top 2 or 3 when you're talking about teams that have experience.
And I've heard you mention this before. We lose Tyree, the 7th pick in the draft. 7th, number 7. And you think, hey, you're not saying we wouldn't take him back in a heartbeat, but you feel like we're better.
Well, year 2 in Coach DeRuiter's defense, and that's such a premier position, being on the edges in his defense. I would take Tyree back in a second. It was really cool. He's one of the first guys. It was 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm coming into the FTF, and he was one of the first guys to wish me happy birthday. So it was really cool, that having that relationship just in 1 year that you'd be able to make an impact on each other's lives. But we're really deep. Miles Cole, he's going to play our F. But Joseph Adedire started games as a freshman last year. I mean, he's bigger, faster, and stronger. Steve Linton is going to be our boundary backer. He's an absolute freak. I mean, so explosive. And, as good as our offensive line was, he had 4 sacks the other day in the scrimmage. I mean, he's just extremely explosive. And you've got really good guys behind him. One of them who plays a couple different positions, but a dude that is a Red Raider through and through, with Bryce Ramirez coming back, going full speed, full tilt against.
How about that? Yes.
I mean, think about that. Compound fracture, one of the worst injuries I've ever seen in my life, and the dude has worked his way back to where he's been in 2 live scrimmages. He starts in different packages, but he's also our boundary backer. And so, man, I can't wait. Man, you just talking about a guy that's such a pro, says so much about our team doctors, our trainers, our strength staff, but just really says so much about who he is.
Hey, we're trying to wrap up, but I want to talk about the brand. Toughest, hardest working, most competitive team in the country. We saw that last year. Sometimes that could just be a phrase, right?
Right.
But it seemed to me every fourth quarter last year, whoever, even in a game where we maybe didn't come out on top, you had the tougher team.
Yeah, and I think the fourth quarter takes a life of its own. It's like almost a totally different game. And so I think you have to go into that period, that quarter, and understand, what kind of football is being played. It has a lot to do with our strength staff and the condition the guys are in to be able to play at that level. But it also has a lot to do with the belief that these guys have that no matter what's going on, no matter what the score is, we can finish a game and win a game in the fourth quarter. It took us some different things and some, trying some different things, but I think you definitely saw that the last 4 games. 2 of my favorite games was the win against Iowa State. We go in there and we play great defense and score enough points to win. it's 12 degrees, you know, and our guys were tougher than people that live in that weather every single day. And that was huge. And then we turn around and we get in a good old-fashioned Texas Tech, West Texas shootout against OU the very next week. And so it just shows that these guys understand, just keep fighting, you know, just find a way. And that's kind of our thought process. If we can, you know, be in it and just keep fighting, then we're going to wear people down.
Okay, I've reached my word quota. Wrap it up. 60 minutes of us. What does that mean? How important are these people? Give us your final thoughts.
Well, that's awesome. I'm glad you said that. Boog, is Boog over there? Boog, are you over there? Guys, good to see you. So Boog is walking towards me in the FTF, or in the indoor, and he goes, "Hey, Coach, where'd you get that 60 minutes of us?" And I said, "Well, I've had it." And he goes, "Well, you've never said it before." And I said, "Well, you weren't ready for it. We weren't good enough to play 60 minutes of us, of exactly who we want to, but we weren't there yet. We're there now. We're going to play 60 minutes of the brand." They understand now through a full year and then that off season and that spring what it takes to play 60 minutes of Red Raider football, of that Red Raider speed and violence. But part of that is the passion that you bring, because it's not just 60 minutes of us, the guys on the football field. Jones AT&T Stadium is the toughest place to play in America. It's only going to get tougher with the addition of the South End Zone. But I will tell you this, people are intimidated when they come into Jones AT&T. Trust me. Tell you a great story about the team in Austin of how you as a fan base were in their head when they entered Jones AT&T. And so 60 minutes of us is every single person in here, from pregame, tailgate, to the kickoff, to the last second on the clock, making sure that when they come into Jones AT&T, they're going to get 60 minutes of us. Everybody in this room, everybody in this stadium, we'll do our part. We just ask you to do your part and make sure they understand exactly where they are. And they're in West Texas. We're pissed off, and we're ready to play some football. So thank you very much.
Maguire, everybody. Thank you, Coach.
Wreck 'em.
Thank you again to Reliant Energy. Thank you, Reliant, for your partnership. We're looking forward to another great year with Reliant. Thank you again to Commissioner Yormark for speaking to us today. We've got a fantastic video. If this hasn't got you pumped up for football, this video will.
West Texas is a symphony. You can hear it in the wind. Deep in this dirt. When words fail, West Texas sings. Music doesn't lie, and neither does football. Just like a symphony, football washes over this town and wipes away our worries. It brings us together, gives us joy and sorrow, comfort and pain. It gives us stories and memories that will last a lifetime. They say music can change people, so can football. They say music is art, so is football. They say when music hits you, you feel no pain. That one's not quite us. It doesn't come together on its own. All the instruments have to work together to create a masterpiece. It takes all of us. West Texas has a song waiting to be heard. Now it's time to play it for the world.
We gon' run this town.
Yeah, I said it, we are. This is Rock Nation. Pledge your allegiance. Get your petite on. All black, everything. Black cars, all black, everything. And our girls are blackbirds. Riding with their diligence. I can't more in depth if you boys really enough. This is like a million. I'll explain later. But for now, let me get back to this paper. I'm a couple bands down and I'm trying to get back. I gave Doug a grip. I lost a flip for 5 stacks. Yeah, I'm talking 5,6 zeros, dot zeros. Here, done. Back to run the circles round. Now we squared up.
Thank you for being here. Soccer Thursday, volleyball Friday, Jones AT&T Stadium on September 9th. Thank you, Wreckham.